What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button for me. I really would appreciate it. Also, hit that post notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. Guys, get yourself down to that first link in the description box, which is that Wealth Builders Financial Community on Patreon link. Listen, man, if you want to know what's really going on in my world and what I'm doing to get to financial freedom, what I'm doing to create passive income, along with 2,000 other wealth builders, guys, don't delay, act today. You got to get yourself down to that first link in the description box and click on that Wealth Builders Financial Community Patreon link. It'll take you over to Patreon, and man, you got to sign up and come join us. Be a part of our family, be a part of our team. That's where I'm giving out the real game. Hey, man, you can stay in the matrix and do it alone. You go right ahead. Or you can come join the Wealth Builders and do it together. Do it together with 2,000 other wealth builders headed in one direction, which is financial freedom and passive income. None of us are experts. None of us try to be experts. We're just regular people that's out here earning money through our job or through our business. And we take that money and we're trying to put it in something that can multiply it over time and create passive income when I don't want to work anymore. If you want to be a part of that movement, come to the Wealth Builders, come join us. We'd love to have you. Good folks at Webull offering a cash bonus reward, man. Second link down in the description box. Everybody that opens up a new Webull brokerage account, put some money in that brokerage account, you can qualify for a cash bonus reward. Second link down in the description box. Click on that link. It got all the details. Open up your Webull account today, and man, go get that cash bonus. Well, all right, guys, we're going to talk about another stock that I believe is going to change everything for me in my financial situation. That doesn't mean it's going to change it for you. I'm just telling you what I believe this one stock will change for me and my financial situation. Get me to financial freedom and that passive income thing. Now, disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. Not in real life and not one on YouTube. This is not financial advice. This is me sharing an opinion with you. Just simply sharing my opinion, but that doesn't mean it's right. You have to go out and do your own homework and come up with your own conclusion, right? Now, if you're not comfortable making your own financial decisions, you need to go get yourself a licensed financial advisor to help you make decisions. I know how to make my own decisions when it comes to my financial freedom. Some of you may not feel comfortable doing that, and you may want to go out and get yourself some professional help. I'm not a professional. I'm just a guy on YouTube sharing an idea with you, talking about a stock that I believe, for me personally, will change everything. Right? Fair enough? Let's dive in then. And that one stock is SoFi. That's right, man. It's SoFi. Some of you have heard me talk about SoFi Technologies back in 2024, when I originally introduced this company to the folks on my YouTube channel. Now it's been a full year, and let's take a look at what this company has done. And here's the big question for me that I got to answer, right? Can this thing 5X itself over the next 5 years? Can it do a 5X? That's what I got to figure out, because see, that's what I'm looking for when I'm out here trying to pick individual stocks. I'm looking for companies that can 5X, 10X, 20X, 50X, 100 bagger. That's what I'm looking for, guys, when I talk to you guys every day about these stocks that I go search out and do a little research on, and then I come share that with you. Again, not financial advice, because I have no idea what SoFi will do. But my point here is I go out and do the homework, and I'm looking for a substantial increase in my investment. that I make in these companies. Again, not a financial advisor, not trying to be one here on YouTube. You need to go get you professional financial advice if you're not comfortable making your own decisions. I can't make that decision for you. So don't take the information that I'm sharing with you today as the gospel or the financial gospel. You need to go out and do your own homework or go get you a licensed financial advisor to give you some advice on this, because that's not what I'm doing. I'm just giving you my opinion, right? Now let's talk about who this company is for you folks that are brand new and don't know about this company. Let me tell you who this company is based on my research. Here we go. Let's talk about who this company is. And we're going to start right here. It says SoFi is a digital personal finance company and a subsidiary of SoFi Technologies, Inc. It provides a range of financial products and services, including banking, lending, student loans, personal loans, mortgages, and investment options, all accessible through its online platform. SoFi aims to help individuals achieve financial independence. I'm loving that so far. I got a background in finance. I was a commercial banker for one of the top 4 largest banks in the country. So I got some idea of what these guys do, but I want to share my opinion with you guys. So here we go. Here's a more detailed look at SoFi. So it's digital focus. SoFi operates primarily online, offering its services through its website and mobile app with access to over 55,000 fee-free ATMs through the Allpoint network. What's the difference between Bank of America, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan Chase, Citibank, which are the 4 horsemen, the 4 largest banks in America? What's the difference between those guys and SoFi? Well, the difference between those guys are they're traditional banks. They have brick and mortar. That means you can go out on every street corner, pretty much where you live, and find one of these banks, a brick and mortar, where you can walk in the door, sit down and talk with someone. But guess what? Here's the situation. You got to have people inside of those brick and mortar branches. You also got to have what? Money to be able to run those branches. The real estate, the electricity, the water, the cable, the internet, all of that stuff with a traditional banking setup is very, very, very overhead intensive. Whereas with a company like SoFi, most of what they do is online through their website and their mobile app. So you don't have a brick and mortar. I can't walk into a SoFi location here in the area I live in because there ain't none. But I can go to the mobile app, I can go to the website and pretty much do whatever I need to do. So that's a big difference, right? One is really technology-based, mobile app, website-based, and then these other big boys, they have mobile apps as well. They have websites as well, but they also have brick and mortar to go with that, right? So here we go. Product range for SoFi. SoFi provides various financial products and services, including banking. So you can do your standard traditional banking there, guys. And what's that? Well, you have a checking account and a savings account with no account fees or minimum balance requirements. Ding, 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 ding. That's a big one right there, guys. Most of your banks out here, your large major banks, guess how they pay for that real estate? Guess how they pay for all them employees inside of that real estate brick and mortar building? Guess how they pay for it? By charging you fees. You very seldomly are going to be able to walk into a Bank of America or a Wells Fargo or a JP Morgan Chase or a Citi and get a free checking account. That typically doesn't work that way. Now, can you have a mortgage with them? Can you have a big brokerage relationship with them and they tie all that in and give you free checking based on that? Yes. But if you just walk in there, just a regular Joe Schmo or a regular Mary Schmo, and you say, hey, I got $100, I want to open a checking account, those people are going to say, well, you can open it, but you're going to get a $10 a month fee, $15 a month fee, $20 a month, something, because they got to pay for that brick and mortar. They got to pay for them employees in there, right? So that's really the difference why a company like SoFi, who's basically website and mobile app internet based, can still offer free checking because they don't have the overhead that some of your big boy banks have. Another product that they offer, like I said, is lending. You can borrow money through SoFi, right? Using their student loan, refinancing, personal loans, and mortgages. So student loan, refinancing, personal loans, and mortgages. They also have investing, options for investing in stocks, ETFs, and other assets. So if you're looking for a brokerage account or you're looking for somebody to help you, they can offer you that through paper assets as well, through investing in stocks, ETFs, and other assets. Other services that they offer: credit cards, insurance, and financial planning tools. So if you're somebody that's not comfortable making your own financial decisions, you can go to SoFi and they can have licensed financial advisors that'll help you make financial decisions. So that's another nice one. What is SoFi's mission? Well, here's their mission. SoFi's core mission is to help people reach financial independence and realize their ambitions. That's basically the core mission of SoFi. I kind of like that. What's the company's history? Founded in 2011 at Stanford University. Stanford is a big dog university when it comes to this technology stuff, guys. Stanford is a big dog university. Some of your well-known people have came out of Stanford, right? SoFi initially focused on student loan refinancing before expanding into a broader range of financial services. There you go. That's a little bit about who SoFi is. Here's one of their awards they've won. SoFi has been recognized as the best online bank of 2025. So, solid company, solid mission statement, solid online banking options, #1 online bank in 2025. Love all of that. Now, let's talk a little bit about the numbers. We got to talk about the numbers, right? So let's dive into the numbers. Because at the end of the day, man, listen, I got to make some money. If I'm an investor, right? My goal here is to find companies that I can 100 bag, or find companies that I can 5x, 10x, 20x my money over time. And there is no guarantees that I'll do that now. But my job here when I'm picking individual stocks, guys, is to go find companies like that I can put a certain amount of money in and be patient and allow that investment to elevate itself. The higher, the better. But I got to find good companies to do that. And I want to go on that ride with them. Remember a couple of days we talked about value companies. These companies are already giant companies. They're not going to grow as fast as a growth company. Remember we talked about those growth companies and we talked about those value companies. Now, if I'm looking for income from assets I've already built, I got money already, and I'm looking to put that money somewhere to get income, that's where your value companies come in because they pay good dividends, right? They're very profitable and they pay good dividends. Companies like AT&T and the like, right? I can go to AT&T, put my money that I've already made into AT&T, get a really good dividend, and I get income from AT&T. But if I'm trying to grow my wealth and I'm in the growth stage of wealth, I'm in the building stage of wealth, I want to go find growth companies to put my money in because I only got a little bit of money. I want to grow it to a lot of money. So I want growth companies. But if I already got a bunch of money and I'm trying to create income out of that bunch of money, I may go find more established companies that have already done it, that are very profitable, that pay a great dividend so I can get income. But that's when I'm in the what? That's when I'm in the enjoyment stage of wealth. I've already built my wealth. But when I'm in the building stage of wealth, I want to look for growth companies. And Richard Fain, yours truly, I believe that SoFi is a growth company. right? That's my opinion now. Like I said, you go out and get your own financial opinion on this from a licensed financial advisor. Don't take my advice. I'm just a guy on YouTube. I'm just sharing an idea with you. But you need to go out and get you some professional financial advice if you're not comfortable making your own financial decisions. Because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a regular guy here on YouTube. What I'm telling you is just my opinion. Could be all wrong. So please go out and get you some professional help. Now let's look at the numbers for this growth company, SoFi Technologies, this growth company. Let's take a look at it. Currently right now, the market cap on this company is $23.57 billion. What does that make this company from a market cap standpoint? You know, we've talked about this now. You got your micro, you got your small cap, you got your mid cap, and then you got your large cap. What is SoFi right now at a $23.57 billion market cap, where they're a large cap, right? A large cap stock, a large cap company is a company that has $10 billion or more in market cap. And SoFi is one of those companies that has, you know, a 23, almost $24 billion market cap. So it's considered a large cap company. I consider it a large cap growth company, right? Because it's still in the growth stage. It's not in the, okay, I'm mature, I'm already a giant company that's making, you know, billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars in revenue. You see where I'm going with that? So value company is already a mature company. They like to call those mature companies. And then you got what? These growth companies that are trying to get to mature companies. So when you look at the S&P 500 index, you have a combination of growth companies in there and value companies that make up the 500 S&P, right? You got growth companies and you got value companies in there. Already mature companies and companies that are trying to get to mature status, right? So let's keep going. So we got almost a $24 billion market cap, large cap growth company. I love the growth part because I'm trying to grow my money. I'm trying to grow my wealth. If I'm trying to grow my wealth, I want to find growth companies to help me grow my wealth. As they grow, I grow as a shareholder. So that's what I'm looking for when I'm looking at a company like SoFi. So here are the numbers on the stock price. 52-week high, $25.11. That's your 52-week high for this particular company. What's your 52-week low? $6.01. So nice little $19 per share gap there, guys. So you can see a little bit of volatility there, right? Just in the 52-week high and the 52-week low. Where are they currently at right now? Today, the stock price opened at $20.83. The high was $21.92 and the low was $20.43. So currently right now it's $21.64. So it's a well-placed $20 a share stock right now, guys. The question is for me that I got to figure out and answer and do me a little bit more research is, can it get to $100 per share over the next 5 years? Can it become a $100 per share stock or higher over the next 5 years? So that's where my research, I have to continue deep diving into this thing because that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that I can buy for $20 a share. That's a growth company that can be on some type of trajectory to get it to at least $100 per share over the next 5 years. It can do it next year. It could do the following year. But as long as it does it within the next 5 years, that meets the criteria that I'm looking for in order for me to plant a seed, right? If I can't justify that, then I don't want to plant the seed. I'd rather take my seeds and plant them somewhere else. You feel me? So that's what I'm trying to figure out. But that's where the stock price stands today, right? Now let's look at the numbers. Let's look at the financial statements because they can tell us a lot about this company when we look at the financial statements. Now I'm not sure. Let's see here. Yes. Looks like we do have June Q2 numbers. So let's look at June Q2 numbers because that's what we got. So Q2 numbers for June. Here's what the market was looking for revenue. Here's what the experts said that they expected SoFi Technologies to do in Q2 of 2025, which would have been ending June 30, 2025, right? April 1 through June 30, Q2. Here's what the market or experts expected in revenue. They expected this company to do 804.36 million. So 804.36 million. That's what they expected SoFi to do. But what did SoFi actually do? They came in at 858.23 million. So they beat expectations by 6.70%. That's good news, guys. The market said they wanted them to come in around 804 million. They came in around 853 million. That's good news, guys, for revenue. That means this company is growing. Let's go look at March. Let's see what they came in revenue back in the first quarter of 2025. Because what I'm looking for, guys, is I want to see revenue growth quarter over quarter and year over year. I want to see revenue growth. Why? Because you're a growth company. You should be growing, right? Now, if you're a 100-year-old company, 50-year-old company, maybe your growth is stagnant because you're already doing $400 or $500 billion a year. You're a company like Walmart that's doing $650 billion a year in revenue, guys. See, that's a giant company. I mean, that's one of the Walmart has the most revenue of any company in the world. They do over $650 billion a year in revenue. See, that's a value company, right? I look at Walmart as a value company. Some people will still say it got a little growth to it, but I look at it as a value company. That's a behemoth, guys. You're talking about, listen, man, you're talking about almost $750 billion in revenue. That's what Walmart is doing. This company right here is trying to get itself higher. It's trying to become a major company, right? So it should be having revenue growing quarter over quarter and year over year. And it looks as though when you look at the first quarter of 2025, revenue, they did 770 million. You look at Q2, that went up to 853 million. So they almost increased revenue quarter over quarter by like $85 million. That's pretty dang on good, in my opinion, guys, for an online financial services company like an online bank. Not bad. What did they do from EPS? So in Q2, experts, and this is when we say EPS, guys, we're talking about earnings per share. So they came in about 6 cents. That's what the market wanted them to come in, about 6 cents per share. They came in at 9 cents per share, which is a 44.70 year over year increase. That's good news, man, for EPS. So June Q2 25, they beat on top line, which is revenue, and they beat on bottom line, which is earnings per share. Beat. Q1, same thing, right? Same thing, Q1. EPS, market was looking for 3% per share. They came in 6%. I'm sorry, market was looking at 3 cents per share. They came in 6 cents per share, right? And that beat year over year they beat expectations by 93.87% on EPS in Q1, right? And then when we look at Q2 EPS, they came in at 9 cents per share and the market was looking for 6 cents per share. So now you see EPS going up quarter over quarter and you see EPS going up year over year. Plus, you see revenue going up quarter over quarter. You see revenue going up year over year. Those are both good, solid numbers for me, guys. That's why I like SoFi, because it's in a situation right now, and it had some competition. Don't get me wrong; they got some competition out here, but the numbers is what I like. I love seeing that revenue is up year over year and quarter over quarter in the first 2 quarters of this year. Quarter 1, quarter 2. I love that. They're making more revenue. Like I said, revenue went up from Q1 to Q2 by 83, almost $84 million. Now, if you annualize that out, you know, they could end up at $160 million in more revenue than they had for last year, which is, in my opinion, good. But they're still growing. That's the thing I like about them. They're still growing, right? And they're working on some stuff that could continue to increase that revenue, right? So when we look at the numbers, I'm just giving you my opinion, guys. This is not financial advice. This is just my opinion. When I look at the numbers, I like the trajectory that they're on. They're increasing revenue year over year. They're increasing revenue quarter over quarter. They're increasing what? Earnings per share quarter over quarter. They're increasing earnings per share, what? Year over year. So they're beating top line and bottom line year over year, quarter over quarter, at least for the last 2 quarters. Now, you got to go back and look at further back than that. That's not my job here. My job is to give you my little 2 cents, and my little 2 cents go back to 2 quarters. I'm not going to go back to the inception of when the company started and try to figure all that out. That's not my job here. My job is to give you the last 2 quarters and give you my opinion, which I'm giving you. I recommend you go out and get yourself some financial advice from a professional, because I'm not a professional. I'm just a guy on YouTube sharing an idea that he's thinking about planting seeds in, right? So now we looked at the numbers from my perspective. Now, if we go here and look at some of the competitors, and then we're going to round this thing out, I'm going to tell you what the experts think the stock price will do over the next 12 months. So here are some of the competitors of SoFi, right? SoFi's competitors include a mix of traditional financial institutions. I told you who those traditional financial institutions are. They're your brick and mortar financial institutions that also have online presences, some bigger than others, but that's part of their competition. Your Bank of Americas, your Wells Fargos, those kind of guys. Those are your traditional guys. They also have other competitors in the fintech space. Fintech is financial technology banks, like they are, right? They got some competitors there as well. Key competitors include Affirm, Robinhood, PayPal, Upstart, and various banks like Bank of America, BBVA, and so on and so forth. So they got some competition. What you got to go out there and do, guys, is take a look at that competition and where SoFi stacks up with that main competition, which is your fintech competition. I wouldn't worry about the traditional banks, at least I'm not. You can't put SoFi against Bank of America. Bank of America is the second largest bank in America. They have trillions and trillions of dollars under assets, trillions. And they're a giant bank. So you can't put them up against them. But what I would probably look to do for my research is go look for other fintech or other online, predominantly online banks like SoFi and what they do. So they gave you a little bit of those there. Now let's go take a quick look at what the experts are saying about this stock price and to see if we, again, these experts are experts. They do this for a living. So my job here is to take a look at what they say, but that don't mean I got to agree with them, right? They're experts. They do this for a living. I don't. So clearly I want to go look at what they say. Now, you got to understand, experts can change their opinion. One quarter, expert could say one thing. Next quarter, expert could say something totally different. So you got to think about what these experts saying. You want to take that in consideration. But at the end of the day, it really comes down to what is your conviction with this company. Do you believe this company can do what they say they want to do. That's where you got to build some conviction for this company. If you don't have any conviction for them, move on to the next one that you can have conviction in, because that's what it's going to take in order to get into something like this, plant a seed and be patient enough to let that seed grow into a beautiful oak tree or a beautiful fruit tree with a bunch of, fruit on it, or a bunch of little acorn nuts, right? So if you're going to do that, you got to build some conviction for this company. And that's what I've been doing for myself over these last couple of weeks, is building more conviction, doing more research, figuring out where they land, looking at the financials, and just saying to myself, Richard, can you see yourself in this company for 5 years as a shareholder? And just seeing what the experts are saying. All of that builds conviction in these companies, and that's what you'll need to do, in my opinion, in order to go long in this thing. Now, if you're trying to go short in this thing, that's a total different conversation. But if you're trying to go long in this thing, like I am, I'm trying to go long in this thing. I'm trying to 100 bag this thing, or I'm trying to something. I'm trying to grow my wealth over time, right? So I gotta build up conviction, because if this thing drop a little bit and I don't have any conviction, I'm a panic. I'm gonna be a panicking. I don't want to be a panicking, but if I build up enough conviction and I believe in the company and the stock price dips a little bit, I'm rock solid, because I've already built my conviction up and I believe in the company. I'm rock solid. Maybe I even plant more seeds. But if I haven't built up any conviction, man, this thing drop a little bit, I'm gonna be a panicking. And you know what that means? I'm gonna be a panicking. So here we go. 12-month price target for SoFi Technologies. Right? According to Wall Street analysts, it's around $16.78. This is based on the average price targets of 19 analysts. These are professionals, guys. This is what they do all day. You got 19 of them, with a range of $12 on the low end to a $21 stock price on the high end. So that is where your analysts are, that's the range. $12 low, right? And then $21 the high, which we're pretty much right there right now in today's environment, right? So here we go. It's worth noting that these are just estimates. See, this is what I was just telling you a few seconds ago. These analysts, they're experts. This is what they do all day, every day, but they're just estimates, guys. Nobody has a crystal ball, right? So just keep that in mind. It's worth noting that these are just estimates, and the actual stock price could fluctuate based on various factors, including market conditions and company performance. For instance, one analyst predicted a potential upside of over 100% by the end of 2026. You see where I'm going with that? So what do you got to think about? In my opinion, at least for me, I got to think about, what do I believe this company can do over the next 5 years, over the next 9 years, because that's how long I left in the stock market. Once I get to 9 years out from now, I plan on transitioning out of equities, or at least 80% of my money will be transitioned out of equities and put into income. Because by that time, if YouTube allows me to stay on their platform, I'm not going to be doing no more YouTube videos, right? I'm not going to be fooling around with my website or the wealth builders or any of this other stuff that I do now that I love doing. I'm not going to want to do that anymore in 9 years. What I'm going to want to do in 9 years is take my wealth and put it in income so that I can draw income from it, so I can travel the world, play with my grandkids, do whatever I want to do. See what I'm saying? That's the reason wealth is so important to a guy like me, because without wealth, I can't really do the things I want to do on the back half of my life when I consider myself fully retired. I don't want to be an 80-year-old dude on here making YouTube videos. I don't, and I'm not knocking 80-year-old guys that do make them. There's plenty of them. I don't want to be one of them. So what I got to figure out is how do I take this money that I'm earning now, my active income that I'm earning from all of my value that I add to the marketplace, because the more value you add to the marketplace, the more you get paid. So I'm adding value to the marketplace. I'm getting paid for that value, but I got to take that money that I'm getting paid and I got to put it in something to grow it over time without me doing anything. And that's where a company like SoFi comes in for me. See, I look at SoFi right now, and I've seen SoFi where it came from since last year. See, I found out about this company in 2024 when it wasn't $20 a share. Matter of fact, it was down in the single digits. And now over time, over the last year, they continue to do what they need to do in order to get their stock price up. And what is that? Revenue and profitability. That's the key, guys. Revenue and profitability. And like the article just said here, when I say article, I'm talking about ChatGPT. Just like ChatGPT just summed this thing up. ChatGPT said this, and let me read it again because this is very important, guys. It's worth noting that these are just estimates. See, they're telling you when these experts throw out these numbers, guys, these are just estimates. Don't get me wrong. These experts are professionals because they do this all day. This is what they're trained to do, but it's still just estimates, guys. And then they went on to say the actual stock price could fluctuate based on various factors, including market conditions. See, so when I'm looking at these individual stocks, two things I'm looking at, right? I'm looking at, well, let me put it this way. In my opinion, two things that can change the stock price for the better or for the worse. One is market behavior, / market conditions, right? That can alter a stock price of any company, any ETF, any index fund, any Bitcoin, any cryptocurrency. Market conditions / market behavior can alter that. It can make it go up or down. I'm cool with that because that's something that's out of the control of the company. Or, you know what I'm saying? SoFi can't control if inflation goes up and people just decide they don't want to do online banking. Who knows? SoFi can't control that. That's a market condition. That's a market behavior that they can't control. What can they control, though? They control business performance. That's the other one that ChatGPT said. ChatGPT said the stock price can fluctuate based on various factors, including market conditions and company performance or business performance. Now, SoFi can control business performance / company performance. They control that. Can't control market behavior, can't control market conditions, but they can control business / company performance. That's the reason I go look at the financials, guys, because the financials are going to give me a snapshot, right? A historical snapshot of what this company has done, which will help me make a determination on can they repeat this in the future. That doesn't mean they will, but history can give me a nice insight to what this company can do, what the potential is. So that's why I go look at the numbers. I go look at the numbers. And what I'm looking at right now, the numbers, at least over the last 2 quarters. Again, I'm not going back to 2011 when the company started. You can go do that. I don't need to do that. What I'm going to look at is the current financial information. I'm going to look at the current historical financial information, preferably the last 2 quarters. And when I look at the last 2 quarters of this company, man, I see revenue going up year over year and quarter over quarter. I see profitability going up year over year, quarter over quarter. Perfect. I see they have a niche that I really like because I'm an online guy. I don't go into the banks. I like doing my business online. And I want it for free. I don't want you nickel and diming me because, you don't have enough money with us, so we're going to charge you for that checking account. Oh, you don't have enough money for us with us, so we're going to charge you for that savings. I don't want that. I want to be able to go online, be able to transact business, feel comfortable that this bank that I'm using is a reputable bank online, plus take advantage of any other products and services they offer, like their credit cards, like the loans. Even if I wanted to have me a licensed financial advisor to help me with my investment portfolio, boom, I could go to SoFi and get that professional help. I like that. So that, in my opinion, they are a full-scale bank, but basically online, which is the future. They're using technology to do what? Help people with their finances. I like that. So, question is, can they continue doing this? That's what I gotta decide here in the next week or two. And I'll decide that and see if this is a company that I wanna plant some seeds in for the next 5 to 10 years. That's the key for me, man. It's long-term wealth building, man. Not jumping in and out of stuff. That, in my experience over the last 6 months, I've tried both. And that jumping in and out of stuff over the last 6 months, it has not been, I mean, it's been a winner, but it ain't been a winner. Winner, in my opinion, just based on what I've seen and what I've done personally, is long-term, man. You buy good companies and you just stay in those companies and watch them grow. Now, if you got to pivot, you pivot. If there's business performance issues that pop up, you got to do what you got to do, right? You may have to pivot and go different direction. That's okay. But the only way I'm gonna pivot if there's true business performance or company performance issues. I'm not gonna pivot from the company because of market conditions or market behavior, because that can change rapidly day by day, right? I change and pivot when the company demonstrates that they can't grow revenue anymore. When they demonstrate that they can't grow profitability anymore, that's when I pivot and I go a different direction. Drop me some comments, man, and let me know what y'all think about SoFi, man. Do you think it's a company that's something that you're going to do a little bit more research on and deep dive in? Is this a company you're going to go talk to your financial advisor about, your professional financial advisor that probably helps you with your money? Talk to him about this company and see what your professional financial advisor says, because I'm not one. I'm just a guy on YouTube giving you guys an opinion and walking you through why I believe SoFi could change everything for me if they continue doing what I see them doing right now. And I got to keep my eyeballs on them. And like I said, in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to make a decision if I want to put it in the long-term portfolio and just forget about it. That's the game, man, for me. All this in and out of stuff, forget that. I'm just going to, boom, put this thing long-term and forget about it, right? If they lose steam on revenue growth and profitability, boom, pivot, go to something else. But as long as they don't lose those two things, might be worth me taking a look at. Well, like I said, man, if y'all want to join the Wealth Builders Financial Community on Patreon, first link down in the description box, click on that Patreon link. It'll take you over to the Wealth Builders. That's where you get access to me and get the real game. That's where I break it down for my folks on the Wealth Builders. And we are not experts. We're just regular people that decided to come together in a community format so we could chase this financial freedom thing together and get to this passive income together. We know that one of us out here by ourselves, our chance of winning is basically zero. But we know with 2,000 of us together, our chance of winning increases. Why? Because you got 2,000 people in the same community headed to financial freedom. And they're sharing tips, nuggets, best practices, what's working, what's not working, safe environment, nobody trying to sell you nothing, none of that. First link down in the description box, consider it, check it out. Also, Webull, cash bonus reward for new account opening people who want to open a new Webull brokerage account. They're going to provide you guys with some level of cash bonus reward. Again, you got to make a deposit in your account. All the details in the second link. Go through it. If it makes sense for you, check it out. If it don't make sense for you, move on, man. It's pretty simple. All right? If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing, share the video, smash the like button. Thoughts become things. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness. Never stop believing in yourself. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.